that's me. Seven. My attempt to solder some stuff today. I here. I went ahead and put a bail on this ginormous pendant that I was working on. I even told my husband, no, I'm not going to go on live, but I decided I'm going to go on live. It is sort of kind of bright out here today, as you can see with the light behind me. I may have to close that door or turn my camera. Either way, this is the updated. It's been pickled, so it's got that fresh white kind of look to it. I went ahead and added a bail. So it's movable, it's decent. I am going to today take the time to file, finish up, hopefully set this pendant and set the stones rather, and go from there. We'll go ahead and see about shutting one of those doors here. It's a weird kind of rainy day here where it's half sunny, half yeah. Hey, Hope. Oh, having your first auction on Tuesday, right on. Cool. The first one, you get it over with and it's nothing. After that, it's a piece of cake. So, again, this is what I'm doing. Working on this pendant. Like I said, I went ahead and put a bail on it, stamped it. Wanted to show, I ended up getting some Ethiopian Willow opals. There's one right here. Beautiful flash to these guys. Some of them are more blue in color, some of them are more pink, really pretty. And I also ended up getting a moonstone. Sadly, I ended up getting this back in a return because it did break on me. But I'm going to repurpose this. Why not? So it busted right here. So this is a sterling silver cuff. It was just, there's a wink link, and the person whom I sold it to sent it back. And I was like, man, I could fix it. Refunded her, no problem. But all of these are moonstone and labradorite. So I'm going to carefully pop off the stones. Use the little beads here, or I may turn them into little rings. Either way, now think about it. But I brought this out here for inspiration, and I also purchased, which I'm sort of disappointed about, I'm not going to lie to you. So, as you may know, I use files. You want to use some sort of file to make sure that your edges are nice and straight, right? So I've been wanting to get some diamond files because diamond tips are the hardest tips when cutting stones. That's definitely something I would suggest that you're getting into stone cutting or carving. You know, similar to this. Dang it. I know I said that I wasn't going to go live, but will you bring the blue out for me? And I'll turn my Bluetooth on. Okay. No. There's the other bit. So anyways, okay. I think my husband might bring out my Bluetooth. So here they are. I'm contemplating sending them back because of how small they are. But here's the thing. They're big enough to get into the little in-between pieces, and I'm pretty certain that they're big enough to get where I need them. It's just I was really hoping for a larger set. So there's that. I also ended up getting a tripod. And I got these items from Rio Grande. And I'm really excited about it. So here is my mesh screen. Thank you, darling. Okay. Are they on?
Yeah, they're kind of problematic. Can you lift your hair so you can wait for me?
Okay. I'm gonna get the sound will be a little bit better. Cool. Rio Grande is the distribution site where I get a lot of my silver and other items. So that's where I ended up getting. That's where I get a lot of my products. To be honest with you, because they ship to the house, my house. So this is the tripod. Basically, this allows me to much better sound. Awesome. This allows me to put the heat underneath and heat up a pendant. I was having issues, like I've been working with copper lately. So this allows me to put the item on and heat underneath with my torch. So really excited about this. This thing is huge. I wasn't expecting it to be this tall, but I love the fact that this mesh in comparison to this mesh is a lot smaller. So hopefully I won't lose, thank you. Hello, Sugar Plum. Hopefully I won't lose small, delicate pieces on this. So I'm really excited about that. So here we go. Like I mentioned, I'll clean up my mess a little bit here. And I ended up getting a bigger binder for my stones. The binder that I have my stones in right now won't close. So there's that. So here's what I'm working on today. Working on this this pendant here. It's a custom pendant. I'm also going to be going back and forth and working on this pendant here. And yeah, I'm also hopefully going to be working on a few stacker rings so that I can hopefully take pictures of them and put them on my Etsy. That would be really nice to work on that. Finish up my gypsy. So I'm just out here kind of just hanging. So I got a couple questions last time about what stones I was putting in this custom pendant. The first one is a serpentarian stone. The bottom one is going to be a moonstone. And then the top one is going to be a, throw it on the floor, tiger's eye. So I think the colors, in my opinion, look really well together. So I'm just going to go ahead and, like I said, I got some opals, which I'm really excited about, to add a an option to my stacking ring, some opals. So. And I also got moonstone. Cool combo. That's what I thought. So a lot of this today is going to be drilling, filing, getting stuff together, just making sure that this pendant is going to be top-notch. So I may end up having to mute myself. You're going to get a lot of like dentist kind of sounds today. So I'm going to, of course, be using my Dremel for a lot of the harder work here. I'm going to try out these, and we're going to go from there. We're going to see how this goes today. And if I have time, I'll work on my stacker ring. So first thing I'm going to go in with is going to be my, what color is it? This one. And I like wore it down. Hey, Cha-Cha. So I actually need to replace it, but I might be able to work a little bit with it. So guys, like I mentioned, I am going to be, I'm going to be drilling. So if you don't like that sound, I understand. Yes. All right, I don't know what's happening with my
my interweb. I'm going to use this. I'm going to open up one of my doors. I don't know how both of them got shut. Hot pants. Take a chance. Okay. Let's do it. So I use these little mandrels, so I don't have to replace them that often, but this time I do have to replace it because I actually wore through it. So sorry about the light behind me. Fix it in a bit. So I have, and I've mentioned this before, I ended up getting this universal kit, and these wheels, they are silicone. They're one of my favorite things to use. And granted, I do use these, which are the files you can get really in between. They're perfect for rings because they'll get actually up inside the rings. But today, I'm wanting to be shaping this pendant a little bit more, softening the edges, and with that, I want to be able to have the control of the silicone. So, anyways, for those of you who are curious, no one asked, but I'm going to say anyway, I'm on tonight with Tiffany. I'm going to be selling some costume jewelry and stuff like that I have. I got a boatload of costumes. You never know what I'm going to pull out. See what I got. So, yeah. And this is just came with my Dremel attachment. I actually have another little attachment that goes on here so that I can put in smaller mandrels in here. So yeah, here we go. We're cooking with fire. So, it's usually how this goes, is I have one side that I'm like absolutely in love with, and then one side that I need to hog down. Hog off some larger sections. That way, inevitably, I am just smoothing out some more stuff here. So, in all of this silver, I'll either melt down and utilize for something else. So these are the other bits in the corners of it. So I usually keep a little baggie out here as far as that goes. So yeah, there was just a little bit more, especially down the bottom here, can level off, make it a little bit more even, blush a bit. So I'm gonna again take my, this is the coarse one, even it out. So sometimes the most subtle details are the things that really make it. So then the next one I go after that would be more rough. It is the black one. This one's blue. This one's black. So I love the silicone. I can't get over how much I love the silicone. At first I was like, I don't know. I had bought actually from Beaducation, which is one of the first places that I purchased soldering materials at. I ended up getting their soldering kit. Definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. That is a fantastic starter kit. I scoured through Amazon looking for something that would fit, and it just seemed like they were all missing something. Whether it was, I don't know, something had more things than other things, and so I ended up settling on Beaducation. It's $100, and like I said, guys, and I'm gonna just be completely plain about this whole entire time. This took a year for me to save up the money to be able to buy all the equipment, and I'm still purchasing equipment. So this is kind of an expensive hobby to get into, but I'm hoping that eventually this will pay off and I'll be able to really make some art. So again, I've got the black one here. Like I said, this one's not as coarse as the coarse one. It's in between. And now basically what I'm going to do is we're going to work on softening the edges that I kind of manipulated, especially be working on the bail because the bail is a bit sharp. And right before I have this thing really shiny, the hair is nuts. Seems like when I wash my hair, it just becomes frizz city. Right before I make this thing super shiny, I'm going to set the stone. So not too far away, but this is the part that can take forever. starting to pick up that shine a little bit. This is, and of course, if you just rub this even with a polishing cloth, it'll get to white. So basically, I'm working my way up the grit. So the less numbers the grit has, the more rough it's going to be. So this is working my way up, basically. Some parts are a little bit more shiny. You can sort of tell, you know, I've worked on this side a little bit. These balls are okay. So again, we're a little bit more shiny, but you'll notice that there are some places like in between here and in between here that are absolutely not polished. So that's where these little filing doodads come in handy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a coarse one, which is red, and pick it up. I know the sound's not as, you know, not a pretty sound, but nevertheless. Here we go. I always get the pumice one and the red mixed up. We'll do this one. Yeah. Okay. So again, now we're working my way up at this point. I'm going to be hitting the bezels. I'm going to be hitting the in-between spots, the hard-to-reach spots that my silicone won't manipulate to. Okay. So here we go. We got the in-between spots, pretty shiny. It's not going to make that huge of a difference until we get to the more polishing parts of it. So I am going to now get the, I've got the lovely pile of coconuts, yeller here. Yellow, I've used the dickens of it. Really get in there. Okay. So we're getting there. And of course, a lot of this is kind of, it's not, I don't want to say it's redundant, but, or not necessary, because I am going to be adding patina to this, to hopefully darken up the areas that, you know, that I want, I'm looking for. So at this point, I am going to be taking, what am I going to be taking? I'm going to be taking, white here, which is the starting of the polishing. That really high shine that you look for in a finished pendant. Oh, hey. Okay. So I don't pay too much attention to the inside of the bezel. Taking into consideration if a stone is clear, like the moonstone, I want to make sure that that's one that I'm really looking on cleaning the inside of it. That one might even be something, the moonstone might be one that I might set after I patina it, because I don't want a potential underside of it turning yellow. And I've seen that be a common thing that happens, is the underside of the metal will start to patina, and it almost yellows first, and depending on how much, you know, other metals are not in there apart from the 925. And I'm just going over and I'm feeling it. A lot of jewelry you're going to be wearing. It's going to be, you want to make sure it's not going to snag on any of your clothes. So touch it, feel it, really get your hands on it. And my bail is still pretty sharp. So I'm going to be taking, this is 400 grit wet dry sandpaper, and you can get wet dry sandpaper online on Amazon. That's where I got mine. I got mine in a big old bundle, or an automotive store sort of thing. So I'm actually, there's like a burr rather, and I'm just going to snip it because it's just like a piece that's like hanging. And I'm going to take my flat and I need to work on not like just throwing my tools back down. When I first started doing jewelry unboxing, my mom so many times had to tell me, Devin, don't throw down the jewelry, because I would just toss it. Special. So I got to work on just not manhandling, throwing down my tools. Okay. So with this last part, this white, like I said, I went up, which meant I polished the bezel. And at this point, when the stones are set, I'll definitely be able to polish it more. But I'm at a point now where I'm comfortable enough to drop it in the patina. Now, the thing about this is that liver of sulfur tends to work best when it's heated, but I don't have this heated. But I'm just going to stick it in here and give it some time to chill out. Kind of swoosh it around a little bit. I know some people in their shops have like a electric kettle, which isn't a terribly horrible idea because this jet compound that I would use to set the stones, it's like made from this, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but like wax, little beads. You heat it up in like hot water. So I don't know if this is going to work, but try it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. It may have patinaed a smidge, but I may have to just go heat this up in the microwave. Or this is what I can do, and I've seen people do this. I'm actually going to take my pendant here. I have my liver of sulfur. Open it up. I have a paintbrush. Okay, smells like eggs. Sulfur. Take my paintbrush here. And get to dipping. And hey. So basically, I am going to add patina to the base of it. Yes, it's a concentrated part of it. I'm basically going to be patinaing it, the base, to give depth. Move it around. And as you can see, it's darkening. basically paint. And it gives us this intentional oxidization, which then I can go in with my steel wool and polish it to the way I want it. This way, I have control over, and I'm dipping it in water. I'm no longer dipping it in the liver of sulfur. There's absolutely no need for any additional. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. And again, gluing on the lid, putting it back into the, this is what it looks like. Putting it back in here. And give you guys an update on what the pendant is looking like. You have some intentional oxidization around the base. And that is what I'm looking for. And just to give you guys a little bit of an insight here, this is what this is the pendant. So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I kind of get surprised sometimes when I see stuff that I'm doing that ends up sort of looking like the picture. I get all like, what? Serious? That's not right, is it? So anyways. Again, just swirly, whirly, whirly, hitting it with the water here. And so now that will become the liver of sulfur. I saw you starting that on the wreath, like, thank you. Yes. It's always a process. I wish, I could stay out here all the time. But Okay, so here it is. Taking the little bits of paper towel off it. So it's darkened. Obviously, from where I've had it, it's darkened. What I should have done is also hit my, I'm going to do that right now, hit my little stamp back here. And I have the paintbrush, and I am just getting it in there. So that way, my stamp also becomes oxidized as well. Let's forget about that guy. So, back, front, steel wool. This is, and of course you can have many different strengths of steel wool, from super coarse to this one right here, which is a more polishing, which is absolutely perfect for this particular instance. I have made sure that it is dry at this point, and I am just going to be taking the steel wool and hitting the areas that I want more shine, so it'll really make a popped impact. And the patina is kind of like an art form in a sense. Wherever you see fit to having it is where you should put it. Okay. So then I am going to take my more high polish wheel. I wish I could. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. I don't even know what this is. Locking peg hook. All right, here we go. Don't mind the mess. I went ahead and polished the balls, leaving a lot of the depth on the back plate. I went ahead and polished up the bezels, and I'll definitely be able to do more of that when I set the stone. Yes, definitely going for an eclectic vibe on that. So I took the time just now to polish the literal dickens out of the bottom of the stone, because that's actually where the moonstone's going to go. And the moonstone is not translucent by any means, but it is more translucent than the serpentine. You catch my drift. So, just removing that off the side here. And I grab myself another paper towel. Sorry about this new microphone setup. I'll get it one day. Take my paper towel and clean the inside of the bezels. And also take my burnisher here and go in and straightening the walls. What could happen since I was filing is that the walls could move of my bezel. Oftentimes I use 999 fine silver because it's easier and a little bit more pliable to work with. So I'm just opening them back up, taking my paper towel and cleaning the inside to make sure there's no heavy debris from any of my silicone buffing pads. And just do an overall cleaning, because at this point I am happy enough to set the stones. This is where a little bit of findangling comes in. So I've got my tiger's eye here. Again, really nice chatoyancy on that. And I think it complements the serpentine really well. And I'm going to start setting them in. A lot of times, too, this is a dance. Love a good fandangle, exactly. And I don't want to, like, make them like a pie, with like a pie crust. It's almost, I don't know if convex is the right word, but I'm basically just opening them up. Like I said, a lot of manipulation happens, and the last thing I want to do is break a stone again. So once they're set, you know what I mean? And when you're setting the stone, you can almost feel which side is a little bit more, I don't know, it doesn't want to go in. It's all this silly dance you do. And you want to make sure that puppy is flush. I can tell on this side. And I'm going to take my sometimes when you're not looking, you can't see some spots that might cause the stone to not set properly. So it's like when the stones go in, it starts to wake up. This is the funnest part. Not gonna lie, this is why we do it. Now, I found these. I follow a lot of silversmiths on Instagram, and this is actually fiberglass that someone made. And I have seen so many videos on how this person has using this. And it's called Smooth Set. And I just purchased them off of Etsy. And I found it so much easier to use this and to hold this in a way where I can manipulate it. You can even use like a hammer and hammer this into shape. But love it. So this is so, I can't express it enough how much. Because, I mean, you have all these tools, right? So this burnisher, this is the burnisher, flatter, and then you've got this is the push prong or whatever it's called. But I obviously will take those and I'm going to use them. But this thing is worth its weight in gold, I'll tell you. Especially this little guy right here, because I can get into the crack, this in-between section that would be almost nearly impossible. So basically now, the first step to setting a stone obviously is going to be pushing the sides in. And then you want to go over it, over and over and over it. Because you're basically wanting to lock in that stone. You don't want that stone to wiggle, go anywhere, move around. So that's what I'm doing. So, and of course, when it's gallery wire, thanks for hanging. You know, it's rainy over here too. It may not appear that way. It was pouring this morning, and now the sun is out to say hello. I like rain. Little soup stuff. So then I end up taking my burnisher at the end. Because of this steel on metal sort of thing, it's going to smooth around. And I take it and basically I'm just doing kind of like a polishing action would. I'm always taking my thumb and moving it on here because you want to bang it around, man. This thing, someone's going to wear it. Consider this person a gymnast wearing this pendant, and they're going to be tossing around. You don't want to lose a stone. It's the worst thing ever. So, going around and around, use your tools and flatten it. And of course, one of the last things I end up doing is using the pumice or like a really fine polishing wheel here, and I'm going to go in, and that'll also help create the friction and the heat in the metal, and you know, cause the metal to heat up and hopefully press against the stone a little bit. But I'm taking the burnisher now, which is this tool, and going around, and this guy could cause some injury, like a misstep and just tear into some skin, man. So, all right. I like that right now where it's at. Go ahead and give you guys a show of that. Gorgeous, darling. So, because I have manipulated that other one, it has caused some of the other bezel heads to get a little wonked out. So I'm just going to straighten it up. And I have to say, by far, in this short amount of time that I have been silversmithing or doing this, that looks set. Exactly. There's the goal. I found that scalloped wire, bezel wire, or gallery wire is the easiest to set. So there's that. And clearly, this is how it's going to go. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to work on this guy. And when you set one side, I'm just pushing this in a little bit now. You want to go around to the other side and do the same thing. Bottom, top, top, bottom. Now work on them corners. Push them down. Bring them around. Gallery wire, gosh, it's stunning. Just about the same work, and it's easy to set. So I'm just taking this corner, which I have my finger like this, and it takes some finger work. That's why I really wanted to get that jet setting compound, and I've used it so much, which that's sarcasm because I haven't. But anyways, so here we go. But it takes a lot of like, I feel like this is what I'm doing. But it's almost like a rolling action. A lot of like arm, I don't know, sort of arm work, you know. So. The balls came off. All right, well, there they went. Well, poo. I was wondering what was going on. You know what? No matter how hard you try sometimes. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hog off the other one. And file it away. And say, oops, the balls came off. No more balls. That's all right. Can't solder it all after the stones are set in. And yes, I can go back and hog off and get the stones off. But at this point, it is what it is. So, literal SHIT happens. So then I'm going to take my burnisher here and hit the edges, soften them a little bit. Flatten them. Left the hardest one for last, which is this one. I have not mastered, obviously, the flat bezel very well yet, but we'll get there. So here is number 1. Here is number 2. There's where the balls used to be, but you know what? It's okay. We're going to work it out. All right, here we go. Great. Now, here comes the moonstone. No one panic. No one freak out. Hold your breath. All right, here we go. All the things I do. Get the smaller one since I'm working in a corner here or in between 2 different stones. And then take the bigger one and wiggle. Oh my God. Oh my God. going around to the literal opposite side and doing the same thing. And then, like, I almost work from, like, bottom up, if that makes sense. Oh my god, battery's charged on my phone. So it's just a little bit of a dance. I mean, quite literally, it is just a stone dance. And I just come in here and dance with them until my arm gets tired. Like that. And I may actually have to hammer this in a little bit. And I'm going to take this. And I've got my little anvil right here. Let's get burpy out here. Maybe it's the nerves. And so basically I'm just using this and I'm putting like the pendant right here in my hand and then hitting it, I don't know how you could be able to see, but basically all the pressure is going to be coming and hitting my hand instead of hitting the actual stone, if that makes sense. That's another reason why I went to 999 silver, is because it's softer. It seems like it just wants to bounce off. And that's probably because I don't have enough, like, hand strength, I guess, maybe. So, at least with the 925, I feel like I'm always wrestling with it. And it makes it a little bit more difficult. And I don't get that really fine kind of set that I'm looking for. The best way I can describe it on that one. But that's why I would prefer to work with the gallery wire, because it is so much easier to set. For me personally. And I think as a beginner, it's kind of what you're looking for. Everyone needs a good challenge. Someone's roasting something out here, and it smells really great, like corn or something. And then another thing too is I saw on Vegetation that Kate, who is like the person who you're gonna see do a lot of these, take actual emery board here and file it down a bit, because this is a pretty big, a pretty thick piece of silver for the bezel. And she just takes the emery board, filing all around. I love the septarian stone in here. Really beautiful. I love the contrast and slash in chatoyancy between the moonstone and the tiger's eye. And then I feel like this color in here is just really great. So because the emery board is a little bit more pliable, and basically now I'm just working and caging in the top. That's what I'm doing. And so what I'll end up doing, and it's a nice little spot in between here, what I'll end up doing is polishing, obviously, and polishing the bezels, doing that. Probably, I guess I'm going to have to ask her if she would want the backside patinaed, but at this point, pretty much there. Kind of crazy. Yeah, that's it. So then you have the scallop, the gallery, and that one. Have the swirl work. I'm going to have to file this, and then probably patina the bail a little bit more. And then obviously patina the backside. But this is ginormous. All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, pretty pertinent here. That's cool. All right, can't wait to send her a picture and tell her, oops, your balls fell off. Sorry. All right. Well, guys, there it was. There it is. There it will be. Tiger's Eye, Serpentarian, Moonstone. Awesome. Okay. Believe it or not, I have more custom orders. Someone's obviously trusting me enough to work on something for them. So, yes, thank you, Gabby. I hope so. So yeah, I am going to just probably work on a few stacker rings right now. Like I said, I got some other solderable accents that I'm going to work on, and then I have a few more custom orders that'll be for another day. But I'm just really glad to be able to come out here and show you guys. So I'm going to finish working on this, do the meticulous stuff that I'm sure every person does at the end of this. But thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I will be on with Miss Tiffany on Tiffany's Cool Finds. We'll be selling some jewelry, and I hope everyone has a great weekend and continues to have a good day.